When I was 18, I had moved back from college and gotten a job in food service at an amusement park. I am a man and I am straight. Not even curious. I am very secure in myself. It's not that I dislike the same gender, it's just not my flavor of ice cream. One day I had plans to grab some goodies after work. My manager came up to me an hour before my shift ended and told me that they had too many people, and if I wanted to leave early, I could. I had already set up a meeting with my buddy, so I had an hour to waste before I had to meet him. Working in an amusement park, I took the opportunity to walk around. Pokemon Go was big in 2018, so I was catching Pokemon, not thinking anything of it. I sat down on a bench which had a gym at it and started battling the gym. Not too much longer, a 40-year-old man with a very nasty stubble beard and even nastier black and yellow teeth sat next to me and lit a cigarette. The man, whose name was Justin, chain-smoked them, lighting a new one with the old one. After a while, he spoke to me with what is probably the worst possible way to start a conversation. Justin said, "Hey, I've seen you around." What an insane way to start a conversation. Immediately, alarm sirens are blaring in my head, and my fight or flight was kicking in, and I was definitely leaning towards fight. I said, "Excuse me?" in that tone that stated, "You better explain why you said that, or you're about to eat your teeth." Justin sensed the tension in my tone and quickly explained, "Oh no, not like that. I work here too. I've seen you in the work lounge from time to time." I was like, "Oh, okay." That was a terrible way to start that conversation, but maybe he's awkward or something. So I gave him a pass. He told me his name was Justin, and we got to chit-chatting about the park and events coming up. I think it's good to mention that I do like people quite a bit, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to meeting new people. It's so easy to mess up first impressions. Eventually, we got around to the Halloween event coming up, and I mentioned that I wanted to be a scare actor. You know, one of those guys that hides in trash cans or crates and jump out to scare the park guests. Justin lit up and said, "Oh, I know the hiring manager. If you give me your phone number, I'll pass it along and he'll definitely hire you as a scare actor." In my naivety, I gave him my phone number. Worst decision of my entire life. Not too much later in out chit-chat, Justin has slipped in that he was gay when talking about going to a club. I am not a clubbing guy, and I really didn't care about his romantic preferences. You do you, that has nothing to do with me as long as you respect me. But he kept bringing it up and trying to get me to say something about it, which I wasn't biting. Eventually, Justin started making even more concerning comments like saying, "You know, my friends think I'm weird. They all think I'm so weird, haha." I didn't ask or even acknowledge those comments because honestly, I could tell this was going in a weird direction and didn't want to know. I guess he got tired to beating around the bush and straight up asked me, "Do you want to know why my friends say I'm weird?" And I quickly responded with, "No, not really," which Justin immediately ignored and said, "That's okay, I'll text it to you." At which point I very dejectedly remembered that he did in fact have my phone number. My phone went off in the seat next to me with a haunting vibration. When I picked up the phone and looked at the text, all it said was, "I really like feet." I made the most shocked and disgusted face and looked at him to see he was staring at me over his brows and continued, "Yeah, if you were wearing calf-high socks, I would have ripped them off and sucked your toes by now." In horror, I quickly made an excuse. "Man, my feet are so dirty." To which he cut me off with a creepy, "I don't care." I shivered and quickly came up with, "I have a hangnail." To which Justin reiterated, "I do not care." I nearly threw up in my mouth. None of these excuses were true, but I was now scared that I was about to become a very tragic and underreported statistic. I quickly got up and said, "Hey, my ride is here, I have to go." Justin stood up too and said, "I'll walk out with you." In my head, I was thinking, please don't. We walked together at a very fast pace because I was honestly about to run and came to a split in the path where employees go right and everyone else has to go left. I said, "I'm going out this way, I'll see you later," which was a complete lie because honestly, I never wanted to see him again. Justin said, "Oh, really? Well, I have to go this way. I can't go in the employee entrances on my day off." I breathed such a sigh of relief and pretty much ran.
To the employee pickup spot. My Uber, which I had called in the middle of this horror show, pulled up not 5 minutes later, and I climbed in with the speed of a monkey with a burning tail. On that day, I probably had the best possible Uber driver I could have ever gotten. She was one of those really sweet older black ladies who call everyone sugar or baby. She noticed my obviously creeped out face and asked what was wrong. When I explained, she nearly crashed the car, yelling, "What? Oh no, baby, you don't need to be dealing with that. UH. How old was he? Oh hell no. He has your phone number? Give me your phone, Imma Block, and delete his number for you." Nearly in tears, I told her I had already blocked and deleted his number. She spent the rest of the ride consoling me and telling me to report him that no man should be hitting on a kid over 20 years younger than him. I wish I could tell you the story ended there. That I never saw Justin again because any day I saw him again would be a million days too soon. I have a bad habit of trying to forget my problems like they never existed. It's a bad coping mechanism, and honestly, I need a more healthy one. It's kind of an, if I can't see you, you can't see me type of deal. But the next day I went into work and did my shift. I was leaving with two of my buddies, and all of a sudden I see Justin standing outside one of the roller coasters as a height measurer, and he squats down, points an accusatory finger at me, and yells, "Did you block and delete my number?" I nearly jumped out of my skin as I tripped over my own heels running out of the employee exit to get away from him. That was the last time I saw him. I think that management noticed that encounter and fired him, or maybe Justin quit after that day. I don't know. Thankfully, I never saw him again. Everyone reading this, I give you permission to laugh. In hindsight, this does have a humorous ring to it. It is a very serious matter, but I can't deny that it's funny as hell. If anyone is in a similar situation, please talk to your respective employers. I gave Justin no indication that I was interested, and he still said the most outlandish thing. That shouldn't happen, so if you're in this situation, talk to someone about it. Thank you all for reading. I hope all your days go great.